The Kingdom Hearts series at first glance seems like a terrible idea. Mixing Final Fantasy and Disney characters seems like it would be destined for failure, yet somehow Square and Disney managed to pull something incredible off. A video game that on paper sounds like a complete fever dream, but yet somehow managed to capture the hearts of many, including myself. I'm Sexy Jesus, and this is why I love KH1. I remember as a kid just sitting on Disney Channel and seeing the first trailer for the game. Everyone knows that trailer. The one where it's plain simple, clean, it's showing all the clips.
You'll never know who you'll run into next. Kingdom Hearts to PlayStation 2, rated E for everyone.
Seeing all these cartoon characters like teaming up to fight these evil darkness creatures, seeing Sora facing against Darkseid, that looked incredible to me. As a kid, I always thought of like cool situations like that, like cartoon characters teaming up. I even made like little comic strips of like all my favorite cartoon characters and like these Dragon Ball Z-esque battles for whatever reason. I thought it was cool. So seeing that game, I knew instantly I had to have it. I remember going to the mall with my mom and trying to get her to get me it. I remember giving the game to the cashier, and my mom seen the price of $50, which was the highest a PS2 game could be at the time. This like going, nope, you're not getting that. That's way too expensive. So I had to wait like, I don't know, a couple weeks or a month, I forget how long, but I eventually got the game after begging a lot. I remember starting the game and being ultra confused with the really weird music video with the Japanese pop music. It was really weird. And then you drop into the tutorial, the dive to the heart, and you're on all these platforms with princesses. It is like telling you, pick this weapon, get rid of this weapon. Of course I picked the staff. The staff was the coolest one. I dumped the shield because the shield seemed worthless. But now whenever I play, I go defense, so I always grab the shield and get rid of the staff, which sounds like heresy to veteran players, but I will use magic really for healing, so I'm a tanky boy. I like to be tanky. You're going to do all these little tutorial sections, then you end up in this on an island with Final Fantasy characters, which I didn't know at the time. I have hardly played Final Fantasy. I played like a little bit of 7, didn't understand it. Beat like the spider boss, and that was it. They're asking you all these weird questions, and then all of a sudden your shadow comes to life, and you're fighting your shadow. You're fighting Darkseid. I'm pretty sure I died. So you start off with that weird dream, you wake up on an island, and after that I'm sort of like confused. Like, where are the Disney characters? I got this game from the Disney characters. And I feel like the game purposely does that to sort of just make you wait. You do all these tasks on the island, and eventually you get the one cutscene with Donald looking for the king, and then you're back on the island doing more pointless tasks you don't care about, which took me hours because I couldn't figure anything out. The entire time I'm just waiting to play with the Disney characters. That's all I wanted. Eventually the island gets destroyed, you go to Traverse Town, which is like one of the best worlds in the game. Freaking love the music in Traverse Town. It's so cozy and nice. Just like the perfect like first like tutorial world. And then you see Donald and Goofy in the cutscene, so you know you're in the same world. And it's like the game just keeps teasing you. You go into another area. They come out the other door. They're just barely missing you. I was probably exploring Traverse Town forever until I realized I had to go back to the item shop. That's one thing you'll notice with the game is that it doesn't really hold your hand at all. It just kind of throws you in and it expects you to just kind of figure things out. Where once you get to KH2, it kind of holds your hand the entire time. You never get lost. Then you fight Leon. I instantly died to Leon. Squall. And then when you finally reach guard armor, 8-year-old me got hyped. That's when Donald and Goofy dropped from the balcony, land on Sora, you're finally all together. Even to this day, the shot of the three of them surrounded by Heartless still gets me kind of hyped, not gonna lie. You fight guard armor, which I'm sure I died many times to. I died a lot to the bosses in this game. The bosses are actually pretty hard if you don't grind. And guess what? Little 8-year-old me didn't understand RPGs very well, so I died a lot. So once you finally finish Traverse Town, this is really where the game actually starts. Now, the first world I went to was Wonderland. Wonderland is a great world. but it's also very confusing. Took me many hours to complete, because it's confusing. And I'm dumb. But all the confusing stuff in Wonderland was nothing compared to the stupid thing that happens next. After you beat the boss of Wonderland, you get a brief dialogue cutscene of Goofy going, "Well, gee, fellers, I guess we should use the save point to leave this godforsaken world." Yeah. I don't know what it was. Little 8-year-old me was probably not paying attention. Didn't know how to read. Maybe I was just stupid. I don't know. But for some reason, I never paid attention to that. I had no idea what to do after that. So it takes you to the save point, and this is the only world to do this because it wants to teach you how to leave a world with the save point. And I don't know how I didn't see the gummy ship. Maybe I didn't even know the name to the ship. I don't know. I thought there was something I was missing, and I was trapped in Wonderland for hours trying to figure something out, and I never could. I was just stuck in Wonderland because I was too stupid to just use the save point to leave. It got so bad to where I just made a new file. It went the other way. It went to Olympus. It went to Deep Jungle. But unfortunately for me, you have to complete Deep Jungle and Wonderland to progress. So no matter what, I still had to figure out how to just hit Gummy Ship on the save point. Don't ask me. So, realizing that I'm completely stuck in this game, I'm trying to come up with some solution to my problem. I turned to my grandpa because he has strategy guides to Tomb Raider and Duke Nukem and stuff. My grandpa was a gamer. So I said, "Oh, I really need a strategy guide to this game I'm stuck on." And he goes, all right, we'll go get a strategy guide. So we go to Blockbuster. Yeah, I'm old, okay? We go to Blockbuster, go to their gaming section, get the strategy guide. For some reason, I remember the freaking cashier dude going, "Oh yeah, I've been playing this too. I've been reading the strategy guide myself." It made me feel somewhat relieved because, oh, maybe someone else is stuck in Wonderland. No, I'm just dumb. So we get home, we sit down. All right, let's figure out this problem. my grandpa goes, "Wait a minute." Opens the save, Gummy Ship leaves. You got me to pay $15 for a book that you didn't even need. I was dumb. After that, he just goes, "We're getting our money's worth out of this strategy, guys." So he sits down with me and basically claims that we're going to get everything in this game. And that's what it was. Me playing the game, my grandpa sitting next to me with the strategy guide, my younger brother just sitting and watching, because I guess he didn't like to play the game himself, he just liked to watch. So it was like the three of us going on this adventure, which is part of the reason why I love this game. It was just like the first time of like multiple people just together playing a single player game. We would go to each world and try to collect everything we could as we went. Now keep in mind, this is like my first RPG. My grandpa always played like Dungeons and Dragons, so none of us really know RPGs very well. And it took us a while to realize that, oh, we use these keychains to change our weapons. So we were just using the Kingdom Key through most of the game. I don't even know what difficulty I'm playing on. I assume I probably picked Proud. Or maybe it was beginner and I just really sucked, who knows. But yeah, I remember just going crazy, like when we reached like Halloween Town and everything's all creepy, get these cool outfits and stuff, like, this is hype. Going to Atlantica and just being so confused on how to swim. Which, nowadays I feel like it's not that bad. I feel like people kind of give it a bad rap to a degree. You just have to get used to the weird controls, but the world itself ain't too bad. KH2 Atlantica, even kid me was cringing at that. That can just stay away. Through like the entire portion of the game, it was just me playing it, but I think at one point, like, I was holding the book, trying to figure something out, and my grandpa was just kind of like walking through the map, just trying to figure something out on the map, and then ended up spawning some Heartless. He hasn't played the game, so he's just like clumsily swinging the keyblade and managed, I think, to kill like a shadow, but then they had to give it to me like, "You're the fighter, I'm the book guy." So there's a lot of humor throughout the playthrough as well. We get to Monster, we get Super Jump. And we were wondering, like, why isn't he jumping higher? And then we go to our abilities and realize that that's where we equip Super Jump. Yeah, well, we didn't have any. I didn't have any abilities equipped either. We were pretty bad, but we learned as we went. But yeah, I remember just dying to fight every boss, like every time. I think Oogie Boogie wasn't that bad, but most of the bosses were pretty rough. Mostly probably because I was under-leveled and didn't really understand grinding, which I eventually did while we were playing. Like, I thought that about blew my mind. Like, oh, you kill things and you get stronger. It's like training. I couldn't fathom it. We got all the Dalmatians, got all of the Trinities. I remember just getting destroyed by like Ursula, Dragon Maleficent, the Phantom, Kurtziza, Sephiroth, of course. But Ansem himself was pretty easy. Like, we were probably overpowered at that point. I killed him in the first try. But keep in mind, we did everything else before, so I had Aeroga and Kiraga and everything, so we were pretty set for it. The fight was very out of nowhere to me. Like, you're running around with all these Disney characters, and then all of a sudden you're fighting this god on his flesh boat monster. Something straight out of Final Fantasy. I know I said that at the time I didn't know much Final Fantasy, but I did recognize Cloud. I recognized Cloud because he was from 7, which I did play a little of. He also decimated me, along with Cerberus, along with Clane. Clane was god-awful. That took forever. I remember just fighting Ansem, getting him to that last bit, my grandpa yelling to my grandma to come in and watch as we beat the final boss to the game. It was a very hyped event. Seeing the secret movie just being hyped for KH2 to come out. It's this crazy Disney anime with Final Fantasy characters. It just doesn't make any sense. But it's a great game. It's a great series. Cringy, cheesy, but in a good way. I've always preferred the first one, mostly because of that experience. I had a great experience with it, but also just that one has a lot more charm than the others, I think. Like all the little puzzles and stuff you can do within the worlds. You don't really see that much in the future games, especially 2. 2 just hold your hand, throws you in an area, fight these monsters, open these chests that are right in the open, go to the next area. Which also reminds me that people hate the platforming in 1. Once again, it's just, you just gotta get used to it. Just take your time, you'll get it. Also, the music in general, like every level is a banger. The music in the entire franchise, really, there's very few bad songs. It's not even that they're bad, it's just I'm not that into the few. But for the most part, every song is really good. I even just love the sound effects to the game. Everything just sounds nice. I even like to use the sound effects as phone notifications. It's great. So yeah, a little speed through of why I like H1. The story itself is great. The music, the sound effects, the charm, my own personal experience with it. I'd recommend it to pretty much anyone. You have to like Disney to a degree. If you like RPGs, that will help, and I feel like it's kind of baby's first RPG. You can get through it without too much trouble, at least the first game. Second, after that, they kind of get more actiony. It's really hard to believe that the game's 20 years old now, which makes me feel really, really old. Back in my day, we had to use memory cards. So yeah, I just really wanted to make a video to just kind of celebrate the game. I do plan to make another Kingdom Hearts video showcasing, or talking about sort of like the whole series in general, like all the games. In an abridged version of each one, of course, but yeah, I'll talk about all the games. I'll do that for like the anniversary event. But I'd also like to hear if you guys love KH1 or any of the Kingdom Hearts games in general, or just any game you want to talk about. Just throw it in the comments. Tell me why you love it. It's just the series that I'm doing is just meant to express our love to any specific games we want. But I feel like that's all I have to say. So I hope this video came out alright, and I didn't say too much or not enough. We'll see how it goes. I'll definitely make more videos like this. So until the next video, guys, I'll see you. Yeah.